Welcome to Beauty and the Biz. Discover how to grow your practice with effective cosmetic patient attraction, conversion, and retention advice from author, speaker, trainer, and cosmetic practice business and marketing coach, Catherine Maley, MBA.
Hello and welcome to Beauty and the Biz, where we talk about the business and marketing side of plastic surgery. I'm your host, Catherine Maley, author of Your Aesthetic Practice, What Your Patients Are Saying, as well as consultant to plastic surgeons to get them more patients and profits. Today we're going to talk about the patient coordinator role, because you may not realize how insanely difficult it is to get a complete stranger to buy your cosmetic services. First, they need to become aware of you. Then they need to research you enough to feel compelled to contact you. Then they've got to call you, schedule the appointment, show up for the appointment, meet you, and then say yes and hand over their credit card. Now, a lot happens between each of these stages, but especially at the converting stage, when your would-be patient is at that pivotal moment of saying yes or, I have to think about it and call you back. A professionally trained coordinator would not set herself up for failure by letting this happen in the first place. She would use proven strategies to not only avoid this from happening, but to methodically prepare the prospective patient to say yes instead. But here's what I see in many practices. Too many coordinators have been placed in the role with no sales training. Sure, they're nice people, they may look the part, and they may be educated on your procedures and processes. However, they don't have the mindset, the sales methods, or the structure to convert more often. And just because your coordinator has been on the job for years doesn't mean she's a professional living up to her potential. Without professional training, she's actually working with one arm behind her back and not able to give you the best results you both want. For example, see if your patient coordinator has these attributes. Coordinator's mindset and attitude. A patient coordinator must love serving the public. She must be curious about people and helping them get what they want. She's open and friendly with a ready-made smile, great eye contact, and has a confident air about her that puts strangers at ease quickly. She doesn't see her role as selling, but rather as serving the public to help them make a good decision. Now, her money mindset is also solid. She appreciates your skill and expertise and calmly explains why you charge what you charge without apologizing for it. A coordinator builds rapport. A professionally trained coordinator listens and learns. She acts as the patient's aesthetic advisor to help them through their journey so they're comfortable every step of the way. She builds rapport by asking strategic questions to help her bond with the patient. Now, these questions also help her get to know the prospective patient's preconceived beliefs, expectations, and hot buttons to better gauge where the patient is coming from emotionally, psychologically, physically, as well as financially. A coordinator promotes the surgeon as the best choice. The right coordinator knows how to strategically build you up before the patient consultation, so the patient's 70% more likely to say yes during their visit. Now, the right coordinator drinks the Kool-Aid. She loves the plastic surgery industry. She's fascinated with the transformations that happen with your patients and wants that for new prospective patients who visit you. She partakes in the services herself and has no qualms about people spending money to enhance their appearance and confidence. Now, she is your biggest fan and knows how to brag about you using presentation tools, so the would-be patient also sees you as the best choice. A coordinator knows how to present. The trained coordinator knows how to use verbal cheerleading to present the quote so the patient understands all that goes into it and is excited to proceed. She confidently articulates the process so the patient's comfortable with the steps to follow, and she reiterates the benefits of choosing you and your practice. The coordinator checks in with the patient throughout her presentation to be sure the patient's following along and are still engaged. And here's the big one. A coordinator knows how to convert. The professionally trained coordinator knows there is a pivotal point when she stops presenting and asks for the decision in a smooth way that makes it comfortable for the patient to say yes. And if the patient does have questions or objections, the coordinator calmly addresses them and asks for the decision again using a different angle. Okay, so that is my list of attributes, and how did your coordinator stack up? Does it sound like you have a professionally trained coordinator representing you to be at the best of her ability? The point is to remind you that there are nuances to everything. For example, there are nuances to surgical techniques that make all the difference in your outcomes, and the same goes for converting consultations. Without knowing these small nuances in the process of converting consultations to paid procedures, that's exactly what's holding her back from greater results. Now, if you believe your coordinator could benefit from professional training, please check out my Converting Club for Coordinators at my website at catherinemaley.com, where I professionally train coordinators to convert more consults professionally and confidently. Please do that. If there is any hesitation or concern about your coordinator converting, all it means is she just doesn't have the right strategies and she's not trained properly. So please let me do that for you. Okay, and that wraps up this episode of Beauty in the Biz. I sure would appreciate you subscribing. And if you've got any questions for me or comments, feel free to leave them at my website at catherinemaley.com. Or, of course, you can also DM me on Instagram at catherinemaley.mba. Thanks so much, and we'll talk again soon.
We hope you found valuable insight on this episode of Beauty in the Biz. For more episodes, tools, and Catherine's free book, visit www.catherinemaley.com. That's www.catherinemaley.com. And be sure to subscribe to get the latest practice building strategies delivered to you. And don't forget to share this Beauty in the Biz podcast with your staff and colleagues.